Hello and welcome to UK Crime Caught on Camera. In this one, we're looking back at some of our most watched stories of 2024. Six gang members who ran one of Britain's largest drug rings have been jailed for smuggling £1.59 billion worth of cocaine in boxes of frozen chicken. The gang used a warehouse in Redditch to store the cocaine. They were part of a criminal network which imported 15 tons of high-purity cocaine from the Mexican cartel and distributed it around the UK. They worked for a kingpin, hiding the drugs in boxes of frozen chicken in what is thought to be the largest drugs operation in England and Wales. Deputy Chief Crown Prosecutor for CPS Yorkshire and Humberside said the money-minded criminals were able to sell an extortionate amount of drugs. The gang's operation initially unravelled when police raided a home in Leeds where they discovered blocks of cocaine with an estimated street value of £14 million, and crystal meth with an estimated street value of £4.95 million in a locked room. They also found other paraphernalia used to repackage the drugs, cash, bank cards and passports. This is the moment a man stopped by the police demanded that they put it back after an officer pulled a machete out of his coat. The man can be seen in body-worn footage being searched by officers after he threw his coat over a wall as they approached. One of the officers found 5 bags of cannabis in his pocket before he pulled out a machete from an inside pocket. The man protested, repeatedly saying, "Put it back, man," as the officer reads him his rights. And this isn't the man's first brush with the law. Previously, he had been arrested after police were called to a collision in the A15. A white Peugeot van had collided with a lamppost and the driver was seen by members of the public throwing a machete into nearby bushes. Inside the van, officers found several £100 in cash and some bags of cannabis, as well as 19 bags at the man's home. He was released on bail, but arrested again when officers stopped him here, as you can see in the body-worn footage. He was again found with several £100 in cash on him, a can of pepper spray, which is a prohibited firearm, as well as 5 small bags of cannabis and the machete. The man was sentenced to 38 weeks in prison. He admitted being concerned in the supply of cannabis, 2 counts of possession of a plated article in a public place, and possession of a weapon for discharge of a noxious liquid, namely pepper spray. He must also forfeit £646.50 in cash, which will be donated to Cambridge Women's Aid. What you're watching here is just one of a spree of ATM raids a criminal gang carried out across England, Scotland and Wales. The shocking CCTV footage shows a ram-raiding gang stealing a haul of £600,000 from cash machines at shops, train stations, post office and petrol stations. They carried out 17 attacks in total over a period of 19 months, causing over £1 million worth of damage. Police say the group would use a stolen van and straps to rip standalone cash machines from the ground before fleeing in a stolen high-powered vehicle on false plates. For ATMs and buildings, the gang would use power tools or vehicles to smash through doors and use a drill to access the contents inside. Detectives said there was a core trio behind the raids and that they used partners, relatives and other associates in an on-call capacity so the criminal operation would run smoothly. 10 people were sentenced to a combined total of 29 years and 8 months in prison after admitting a range of offences. 2 of a trio of crooks behind the raids got 7 years and 6 months for conspiracy to commit burglary with intent to steal and conspiracy to steal. The other received 6 years and 8 months for the same offences. East Midlands Special Operation Unit Detective Chief Inspector Darren Brown described the gang as a brash but technically skilled organised group which found strength as a close-knit, omni-component criminal community operating under a clear leadership. He said, on the face of it, this type of crime may seem victimless, but in attacking ATMs, this group has attacked at the very heart of the community. The driver here is someone West Midlands Police describe as really violent and who preyed on the vulnerable and took advantage of them. The footage shows him dangerously weaving in and out of traffic, but it's what he did beforehand that prompted the police pursuit. The thug stole a 78-year-old woman's bag in the street, but resulted in her breaking a hip after being dragged to the ground. Elsewhere, he broke into the home of another 78-year-old woman and cut her phone line so she couldn't call for help. There, he stole bank cards and cash.
Back up towards the Hagley Road and Junction 3.
The driver also stabbed another woman several times in her hand as he tried to cut the strap off her handbag while she was walking down the street. He also tricked his way into the house of a vulnerable man who previously suffered a stroke by asking for a glass of water before stealing the man's bank cards. But the homeowner's son spotted the fuck leaving the house, recognised him as previously having done roofing work at the property, and was later able to identify it. A day later, he stole a Fiat 500, but police were able to trace it due to an in-car tracker. The driver pled guilty to 5 burglaries, 3 robberies, an attempted robbery, and aggravated vehicle taking. He was sentenced to 12 years in prison. In this footage, we see the driver brake suddenly when a yellow truck pulls out in front of them at a roundabout. And the irony of the HGV's massive warning poster is not lost on us. It reads, "Don't chance it, look out before you step out." Next, we see a Mercedes driver narrowly avoiding a head-on collision while overtaking on double white lines. This clip shows a white recovery truck tailgating an Audi on a dual carriageway. The flatbed vehicle drives close to the Audi's bumper before undertaking it in a very dangerous manoeuvre. The fuming driver then swings the truck in front of the Audi and slams on the brakes, forcing the motorist to perform an emergency stop. Another tow truck driver is caught driving erratically here on a busy dual carriageway with his hands off the wheel as he chats on his mobile phone. The previous clips you've just seen in this segment have come from Northamptonshire Police. In the first 6 months of this year, 905 clips were passed to them by members of the public via an online portal in a clampdown called Operation Snap. This saw 758 drivers and cyclists caught on camera. This is a dramatic moment. An armed thug carjacked a vehicle at knife point during a test drive before leading police in a high-speed chase. The man used a false name on social media and arranged to view a car which was being sold on Facebook Marketplace in Stafford. The owner sat in the passenger seat while the thug took the car out for a test drive. As he drove it into a cul-de-sac, he then pulled out a blade. CCTV captures the terrified victim getting out and running away before the thug sped off in the stolen car. Police rushed to the scene, and with the help of a National Police Air Service helicopter, they were able to track down the thug as he tried to escape. Shocking footage shows the thug driving off at dangerous speeds, often on the wrong side of the road in a bid to get away. He was pursued along the M5 motorway for 10 miles until he jumped out of the car at Hopwood Services in Birmingham before he tried to run away on foot. But officers quickly found him in a nearby woodland and arrested him. He admitted robbery and aggravated vehicle taking following the incident and was jailed for 9 years. He was also disqualified from driving for 8 years and 5 months and ordered to take an extended retest. Police dog Stark was called out to allotments with his handler, PC Hopley.
Find him. Find him. Find him. Where are they? Stark. Go on. Where are they? Police! Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Hey, stop hitting the dog! Hold him! Yeah, he's got one. Stop hitting the dog! Get it! Yeah, Delta 4-5. If they can get to me ASAP. He had a machete and he was attacking my dog with it.
Oscar 85 on the lock tank.
Negative. The dog's injured. The dog found him, he ran off. Dog gave chase. He's attacked the dog with a machete over.
Despite being hit more than 20 times with a machete, Stark managed to detain his attacker and his handler managed to arrest him. These images of Stark's injuries are a grim reminder of the risks and dangers police dogs and officers face every day. The German Shepherd Belgian Malinois cross was lucky not to lose an eye. But thankfully, good boy Stark made a full recovery. A road rage driver was caught on dashcam footage the moment he decided to jump from his vehicle to confront another motorist. The angry man was fined and given 9 points after driving erratically and attempting to stop his car and confront another driver. He speeds along the road, weaving left to right before stopping at the side of the road, exiting his car and gesturing furiously at the driver behind him. That behaviour saw him get 9 points on his licence and a £440 fine. For those of you who don't know, the maximum amount of points you can get on your licence is 12. A criminal gang operating out of Blackburn have been jailed for more than 40 years after concealing large amounts of cocaine in cheese. Lancashire Police raided a unit at the old fire station in Blackburn and found a £17.2 million haul of cocaine. The unit belonged to a dealer who had hidden the large amounts of cocaine inside blocks of Gouda cheese. Police found 217 kilos of cocaine, some hidden in the cheese and other blocks in black bin bags ready to be handed to couriers. Evidence shows that between September 2022 and May 2023, the dealer agreed to sell over 2,000 kilos of cocaine, which was worth over £70 million. The dealer and the courier were jailed for a combined total of 43.5 years. Now, before we play this next clip, we have to warn you that it is very distressing as it shows the rider of a motorcycle being sent flying off a bridge. This is the moment a road rage driver forces a motorcyclist onto the wrong side of the road as they drive side by side. He then squashed in between his silver BMW and the metal bridge railing. As the BMW collides with another car, the rider of the motorcycle is catapulted over the bridge and lands on trees and bushes. The motorcyclist sustained serious injuries and was airlifted to hospital. The front passenger in the car the driver collided with also suffered serious injuries and was taken by ambulance to another hospital. The incident happened in Milton Keynes. The road rager was jailed for 4 years and 10 months after pleading guilty to 2 counts of causing serious injury by dangerous driving. He also pled guilty to 1 count of causing grievous bodily harm with intent. He was also disqualified from driving for 4 years and 10 months and will need to take an extended retest before getting his licence back. The person behind the wheel in this footage is a teenage disqualified driver who has 2 passengers aboard as he rampages across the tarmac of Nottinghamshire. He also rammed into 2 police cars, but was finally brought to a halt when 2 police cars managed to box him in. He pled guilty to dangerous driving, driving whilst disqualified, and driving without insurance, and was sentenced to 9 months in prison, suspended for 18 months, and banned from driving for 15 months. A judge also ordered him to complete a thinking skills program and 20 rehabilitation days. He was also made subject of a 3-month tagged curfew order. This is a moment a fugitive tries to hide in a hot tub after leading police officers on a death-defying 80-mile-per-hour chase the wrong way down a dual carriageway. He clambered into the jacuzzi as armed cops tracked him down to a family's back garden. Prior to that, he was one of 3 thugs who led officers on a high-speed chase after they left a man for dead in a savage assault. Police say the trio drove the wrong way round a roundabout. They then drove the wrong way at more than 80 miles per hour on a dual carriageway, forcing other vehicles to swerve to avoid collision. Several minutes later, the trio turned around on the carriageway and drove the other way. Next, police officers caught up with them in a residential area where the trio tried to escape capture. One of the thugs tried to flee through some gardens. And, as we've already said, he tried to dodge the police by hiding inside a hot tub. But that didn't work out, and soon the law caught up to him. 2 of the trio, including the hot tub thug, were convicted for attempted murder, while another was guilty of GBH with intent. They were sentenced to a combined 57 years. These 2 drivers were recorded by another motorist dash cam, wildly driving along rural roads. The idiotic pair overtook each other in their Kia Sportage and Mercedes cars and kept trying to cut each other up. Needless to say, the bobbies at Northamptonshire Police got this footage via Operation Snap, and the pair were charged with dangerous driving. They pled guilty and were both disqualified from driving for 12 months and will have to take an extended driving test to regain their licences. They also had to complete 150 hours of unpaid community work, pay £85 costs and a £114 victim surcharge. In this one, there's a bit of a twist. The driver in this grey Toyota Land Cruiser here is driving dangerously and is caught on camera doing so. The driver of it claims it was a mechanical fault that caused him to do this. However, Northants police didn't believe him and charged him with dangerous driving. After a trial, he was found guilty and banned from driving for 12 months, ordered to do 100 hours of unpaid work, and told to pay £545 in costs and a £95 victim surcharge. But the case doesn't quite end here. See, the driver who helped bust him was also prosecuted for driving without due care and attention. Police say she remained in the off-side lane prior to the incident when the near-side lane was clear. She received a notice of intended prosecution and took the option to complete an education course. A man received a suspended prison sentence following the shocking road rage incident on the A55. Alongside the suspended prison sentence, he was disqualified from driving for 18 months and was given 150 hours of unpaid work and a statutory charge. Thanks for watching another episode of UK Crime Caught on Camera. If you're watching us on shotstv.com or Freeview, thanks so much for supporting our channel. Stay tuned for more authentic UK television coming up. If you've come here from our YouTube channel, thank you. We really appreciate your support. You'll always find UK Crime Caught on Camera on shotstv.com. We're slowly building a following here, and we'll continue to post videos as much as we can. But our shows will always premiere on shotstv.com first. Thanks for watching.